What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 7, the tell all that nobody needed, that nobody asked for, Part 4. So they stretched this fiasco out for 4 parts, which is an entire month of tell all, of the tell all. There's about 4 weeks in a month, and there are 4 parts. So this is roughly about a month's worth of unnecessary crap. I think we could have been fantastic after part two. They need to find a way to condense everything. You need to be clever enough to condense everything, but I understand that it's about money, it's about profits, and so y'all want to stretch this out. The little bit that you have, the little bit of content that you have, Sharp Entertainment, TLC, whoever's in charge of this damn fiasco, y'all want to stretch it out as much as possible to get as much. Ad revenue as possible. We get it. We understand the game. But if you're going to stretch it out for 4 parts, can you make it good? Can you make it interesting after part two? Because it seems like at some point it becomes very repetitive. We're not really learning anything new. Y'all are still revealing to us that, Brian is an absolute cad to his women. Loren is fake, fraudulent, and a liar. Joe can't keep it in his pants to save his life. Who else? Vanya needs some very serious self-reflecting before she jumps into the next relationship. And Nas and Matilda are fine. And we all knew this during the season. Okay, the tell-all isn't really showing us or revealing anything groundbreaking. Anyway, let's get into it because I don't want to take too much of your time. So it starts off with Faith and Loren, where basically Faith is breaking up with Loren because they kind of pushed her into saying, do you want to stay with this man or not? Knowing what you know now about him and what his intention is, which is basically, I hope it's obvious to Faith as it is to the rest of us, that Loren just wants to get some type of citizenship in another country, and he's going to use Faith to get that. So hopefully, with her, she sees this and she knows this, and this is the reason why she decided to finally break up with him. What I didn't understand is her becoming so emotional. Now, I don't know if she was specifically emotional about losing Loren, or was she just emotional about losing a relationship that she thought was a wholesome, true relationship. Like, she's crying about the fact that she has to let go of this dream and this fantasy that Loren could have been the one for her, because I know damn well that she's not shedding tears over Loren the person. So she said that, she wanted to break up with him, and Loren was like, okay, I understand, it's okay. And then she starts crying. She gets really emotional, and she said that she still loves Loren because he is a good person. What? Because a good person wouldn't lie about everything about himself just to get on a show, just to gain clout and, make a couple of bucks. A good person wouldn't do that. I wouldn't try to deceive anybody and everybody just for whatever, just for his own personal gain. A good person wouldn't do that. So her saying that Loren was a good person, I was like looking all around trying to find, what good person is she talking about? Because I know she's not talking about Loren. Loren is, like I said, fake and fraudulent. He's a scam artist. He's a con artist. He's just there to gain clout. Now, like I said, I don't know if Faith was in cahoots with him to get on this show because, like I said, on his social media platform, he said that ever since they've been on this show, Faith's social media following has exploded. Like, she's gotten a lot of followers, a lot of views, which is, so I don't know if she's making money off of her social media or not in the Philippines, because I know some countries can profit off of certain social media platforms, others can't. For example, like Canadians cannot profit from TikTok, but Americans can. So I don't know if she's making money from social media or what's going on, but he made it seem like, they're in this together. They both had something to gain from being on this show. So I don't know if she was in cahoots with them or if she was blindsided by his behavior. I don't know what's going on, but it just didn't make any sense to me to see her crying over someone like Loren, who had lied to her repeatedly throughout, gave her a shimshot of a proposal, never showed like he really truly cared for her. We saw zero chemistry between them. like the whole relationship to me was like so plastic. It wasn't real. It wasn't, they weren't selling it to me at all. I could not believe that these two people were actually in love and wanting to be in a relationship. I didn't buy it, so I didn't know why she was crying. Then they take a break, right? So Loren is having lunch with Vanya during the break, and he pretends like he's crying. I didn't see not one tear drop from his eye. He just was like putting on a show, acting like he was so heartbroken about Faith breaking up with him, and like he's gonna be okay, and he's gonna be fine, he's gonna survive this. And I'm just like, Loren, please. And I can't take him seriously at all after knowing that he lied about getting on this show. I just cannot take this man seriously. So I wasn't falling for the fake tears. And I pray to God that Vanya wasn't falling for it either. They get back on stage, and the next segment is dedicated to Brian and Ingrid. So they show us some unseen footage. The day that Ingrid broke up with Brian, later on that night, he went out and he met a very handsome woman by the name of Anna. And so they had sex, and they stayed together for a couple of days. I think his last remaining days in Brazil, but that went nowhere. And right now, currently, he is in a relationship with a woman named Nadi, who is from Colombia. And so Nadi, they bring her on to the tell all. And what can I say? It doesn't really matter because we know this relationship won't last either. Brian's track record for relationships ever since his divorce has been really horrible. So we know it's not going to last. So I don't even know how much time I should devote to this. So he's with this girl named Nadi. She is like a fitness competitor or something like that. They talk about their relationship. Of course, Sean wants to get to the nitty gritty. She wants to know if they've had sex. They've had sex. And Nadi says that he's a true gentleman. He's very patient with her. He doesn't put any kind of pressure on her to do anything that she doesn't want to do. And then Ingrid chimed in and said, well, that's crazy because with me, he put a lot of pressure on me to do certain things that I wasn't ready for. And Sean asked Brian, so how come it's different with one than it is from the other? And he says, well, it's different women. It's a different women, different experiences. You could tell that Brian thought he was making Ingrid jealous, but Ingrid really, truly does not give a damn about this man. She could care less. He could be with an alien. He could be with a tree. He could be with whatever. She doesn't care about Brian. She could be with Miss Universe. He could be with the most beautiful woman in the world. She doesn't care about Brian. So he was like, well, with Nadi, I really feel like there's a connection between us. All the feelings are there, the emotions are there. So that's why with her, I'm able to be patient with her and blah, 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 blah. But with Ingrid, it was different. Nobody really cares, least of all, Ingrid. So then they talk about Ingrid and Nadi. They compare notes, and they both agree that Brian has a really bad temper. And Nadi said that, like if he doesn't like something, he'll start yelling at her. Like if he doesn't like what she's wearing, he'll start yelling at her. And so, he does have a temper problem. And Brian said, well, yeah, of course I got mad because she was posting these pictures of her on some dude's back. And they show the picture, and it's her and another girl on the back of these two guys. And Nadia explained the picture. She says it was a fitness competition. I won, and we were just celebrating after the competition. To me, that was like no big deal. Like, Brian, like, what's wrong with you? But like, look, I'm not even going to pretend to care. Okay. Then she said that Brian is also a liar. He lies a lot. She said that he told her he was going on a business trip to Chicago to meet with a client. Come to find out, it wasn't a client, I guess, or it was some woman he was going there to meet. And Brian, I don't even know what he said. It didn't make any sense what his explanation was of that trip to Chicago. I don't really know. Don't really care. And Sean asked him, well, have you ever lied to her? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna admit that I have lied to her, but I guess he didn't lie. But I don't really care. So what else? So Sean Robinson says to Brian, so you're not going to take your daughter's advice about slowing down, dating all these women. And he said, there are people that in my friend group who are, wheelchair bound, and they've died, and they're younger than me. And, because you can develop, because you're in the wheelchair, you can develop a blood clot that can travel to your lungs, your heart, your brain, and you're out of here. So he said that, I got to live my life to the fullest. I got to do whatever makes me happy. But Brian, you're not happy. I understand living life to the fullest, and no one, whether you're in a wheelchair or not, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. So, but the way you're living your life is a little bit chaotic and toxic. It's not like you're not happy. Your women are not happy. They're accusing you of being angry. They're accusing you of lying. They're accusing you of cheating, and you're constantly defending yourself. How is this living life to the fullest by jumping in and out of these very unhealthy relationships? Like, I don't understand how that's living life to the fullest. If you were truly happy in these relationships and the women were truly happy, I'd be like, go for it. I hear you. But you're not. Ingrid is in tears. Nadia's accusing you of cheating. You had a one night stand or a 2 night stand with the very handsome Anna. How are you living life to the fullest, living like this when you're jealous and you're temperamental and the women don't feel secure with you and whatever? But whatever. He says this is how he wants to live his life in these unhealthy, toxic relationships. So we're just gonna let him be happy with that. Moving on to Joe and Magda. So no friends of Joe was attended the tell all. And so Sean hinted at the fact that maybe Joe did not want his friends to be on the tell all because they might reveal some very incriminating information about him, because Joe's a horn dog and he okay, we knew about Jill. Okay, he had to confess back in Poland. He had to confess to Magda that he did have sex with somebody in his friend group, and he still remained friends with this girl, someone that he had a sexual relationship with, and she's still his friend. So he had to admit to that, which was Jill. So then they showed us some unseen footage where another female friend that's part of his friend group admitted to hooking up with Joe as well. And so Joe had a lot to say about other people's relationships, and he didn't give bad advice to everybody else. I agreed with Joe most of the time when he was giving advice to the other couples. But when the spotlight was on him, all of a sudden, he lost his ability to talk. He was pretty much mum and was just given the bare minimum of answers. So they asked him, did you in fact have sex with Stephanie? This girl that we just shown in this unseen footage where she said that she hooked up with you and she's part of your friend group. And the way that they edited it, they made it seem like it took forever for Joe to come out and say yes, but I don't think it took him that long. So he does admit that, yes, him and Stephanie did hook up in the past. And so they asked Magda, how do you feel about that? Because, Magda doesn't think that it's okay for you to be friends with someone that you had a sexual relationship with. So they asked her, how do you feel about this? And she's like, well, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it at all because I keep telling him to tell me everything. I need to know everything. And he still refuses to tell me everything. And so then Loren says, well, I told Faith, I gave her a list of all the people that I slept with. Yeah, because you're a health hazard. Yeah, you do need to give her a list of all the people that you slept with. But besides that, he said that, yeah, I gave her a list of all the people that I slept with because I just wanted her out in the open. So maybe Joe should do the same thing. Loren, there is not enough ink or paper in the universe for him to list down all the people that he has slept with in the past. So maybe we can narrow that down to the people that he has slept with in the past that he's still friends with, because I think that's what Magda is most interested in. Who have you slept with and that is still part of your current friend group? Joe really didn't have nothing to say about that. He was trying to kind of minimize what hookup meant. Initially, he was like, "Yeah, we kissed," and they're like, "No, Stephanie said y'all hooked up, and that means that y'all had sex. That's not just kissing. Hooking up is not just kissing." So he finally did admit that yes, him and Stephanie had sex. Um, so then, one of in that unseen footage clip that they showed, his male friend said, because the girl Stephanie said that, I don't think any girlfriend of Joe would be okay seeing the amount of females that are constantly around him on a daily basis. And his male friend said in that clip, I don't know why Joe went to Poland to find a girlfriend because there's plenty of women here in Miami that he has yet to tap into. that he hasn't even, touched yet. So I'm not understanding. And it's easy for him to get women. He gets attractive women. So I don't know why he had to go to Poland to go find a girlfriend. And I'm like, because he's probably running out of women in the Western Hemisphere. If you want to believe what Stephanie said, that he's a horn dog, he has a very high stamina. I'm assuming also an extremely high body count. So he probably is slowly but surely running out of, especially women that don't know each other. So he had to tap into a completely different environment, a completely different country, completely different time zone. So Magda is upset about this. Like I said, Joe really wasn't saying much. He really clammed up. And so I think with Magda, the reason why she really, really needs to know, and he should tell her, because the reason why she really needs to know who he has slept with in the past is because these women are still a part of his life. It seems like. I first thought it was just Jill. Then we come to find out that it's also Stephanie, and who knows who else. So, because his friend group, which includes women that he has slept with, would also be a part of potentially, Magda's friend group. When she, or if she does come to the United States to be with him, she's going to be hanging out with these same people that he's hanging out with. And so I think it might make her, and probably any female, a little bit uncomfortable to hang out with women that your boyfriend slash fiance has slept with. It's going to be a little bit awkward because you don't want people talking behind your back that, oh, she has no idea that the girl that she went to the movies with, Joe was with her a couple of years ago. Oh, she has no idea that, she's having drinks with Christine, and Christine was also part of his, it's uncomfortable and it's awkward. And so he should tell her, look, these people that we're going to be hanging out with over here, these are the ones that I've been with. And then him and Magda can figure out where to go from there. Give her that option of whether she's going to be okay with that or not. Because you don't want your girlfriend slash fiance to look like a total fool because everybody's talking about how she has no idea that she's all buddy buddy with women that her boyfriend fiance has slept with in the past. So then that was the end of the tell-all, y'all. And I was like, okay, we got about 15 more minutes. What do y'all have to show us now? It's over. And there's still 15 minutes left in the hour. So they show us after the tell-all ended, Joe quickly FaceTimes Magda. He tells her that he loves her, that he's going to come see her soon. And Loren didn't have a lot of nice things to say about Joe, and I was kind of surprised. Did I miss something, or maybe I forgot? I don't know. I didn't understand why Loren has so much heat for Joe. Maybe because Joe had a lot of heat for him when it came to how he was treating Faith. But Loren called him a little bitch, and he said that he wasn't a man because of how he's treating Magda. Okay, I agree, but where's all this heat coming from? I didn't understand why he was so hostile towards Joe all of a sudden. I don't know. But I've already explained what I had to explain, that Joe needs to tell Magda, who he's been with, that he's still currently on friendly terms with. Sonny said that he's happy with Vea and that he sees them getting married. He sees them having a family together. So he's good. He's straight. I think Sonny knows he probably made a mistake with Vea, and he doesn't want anybody, especially his father, to be like, I told you so. I told you this woman wasn't the one for you. So in order to avoid all of that, he is really trying to sell that him and Vea are fine. He's completely happy with her. He's really trying to justify why he is still in this relationship with someone who brought her ex-boyfriend to South Africa. Someone who, when she came back to America, broke up with him to go out with somebody else. And someone who is so adamant about not converting. So I feel bad for Sonny. I really do feel bad because I don't think that this is the one for him, because they are not on the same page on a lot of things. The whole thing about, I don't want to rehash old history, but the whole thing about Vea bringing Rory to South Africa. I think people were saying to me, I don't see nothing wrong with her wanting to travel with her ex because, she's scared of traveling. And she was trafficked before or something, or she was almost trafficked before. There's obviously, he's a guy. And if she feels like she needs protection, it would be a guy that would do the protecting, especially someone, who cares for her. But she should have told him. She should have told Sonny. That's my whole point. She should have told Sonny. If there was absolutely 1,000% nothing wrong with her traveling with Rory to South Africa to see her boyfriend for the very first time, if there was nothing wrong with it and she had all these safety concerns, but she traveled back to the United States alone. Okay, she was competent enough to come back home without a chaperone. But for her traveling to South Africa, if it was completely about her safety, she should have told him before she left America. She should have said, look, I'm coming with my boyfriend. I've had issues in the past, or I'm scared of traveling. I've never traveled internationally. That's understandable. Having that fear is totally 1,000% understandable. But she should have told Sonny. There was no reason for him to have found this out on his own and to feel stupid about it afterward. Tiger Lily and Adnan, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine, because Tiger Lily, I don't know why she wanted to front and act like, maybe the producers told her to do this so they could have a storyline. I don't know why she wanted to act like she had a problem with Adnan's controlling ways. Tiger Lily seeks out controlling men. Tiger Lily flourishes with controlling men. Her ex-husband was controlling. Adnan is controlling. This is what she likes. There's women out there that really, really want to be with men who are controlling and who will tell them what to do, how to do it, and when. They love that, because control to them equals love. And so Tiger Lily and Adnan are going to be fine, because she doesn't have a problem with anything regarding Adnan, evidently. Brian and Ingrid. Brian is still very bitter and still very obsessed with Ingrid, because at the end of the tell-all, he said that there's something, he was talking about Ingrid, and he brought up the fact that she's got 2 children by 2 different men. Brian, I don't know if you are aware of this, but you and Ingrid have broken up. So you trying to smear her reputation or trying to bring out negative information about her, what you deem to be negative, you look like you're not over her. Like, why do you care that she has children by 2 different men if that's no longer your woman? It didn't bother you when you wanted to be with her. You weren't broadcasting to the world, that she's got 2 children by 2 different men. And why would her second baby daddy leave her when the baby wasn't even a year old yet? That shows that there's something wrong with her. If the father of your child wants to leave you when your child is so young, you weren't broadcasting that when you wanted to be with her. When you were trying to go down on her. Okay, you weren't broadcasting that. Now, all of a sudden, it's breaking news. You want to tell the whole world about her business because she don't want you no more. So you're still bitter. You're not over the rejection. And the advice that you gave to Vanya, that she needs to slow down with her relationships, please take that advice for yourself as well. You need to slow down. You need to self-reflect. It seems like you are so quick to try to get over rejection that you want to hurry up and jump into a whole nother relationship. And that relationship becomes toxic because you're not over the hurt, the pain, the feeling of rejection from the previous relationship. So you're coming into a new relationship completely wounded. And Vanya, I'm going to end it on this. I can definitely see Vanya on The Single Life. I wonder if they're going to bring her on The Single Life. That's it. Part 4 was unnecessary. It was horrible. I don't even watch the tell-all. Not the tell-all, the pillow talk at the end. I don't like the pillow talk when they mix and match the cast. I don't like that. I only enjoy watching pillow talk when the people are doing it with their respective partners or relative, like John and Patrick, Emily and Kobe. I like it when it's with their respective partners or whatever, or their family members. I don't like it when they mix and match, and I don't like it when they bring everybody together under one roof. I don't like it like that. It just becomes too silly. It becomes too stupid, and I don't like it. So that's the end of season 7. Thank you so much for joining me. For everybody that's tuned in to any of my reviews for 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days season 7, I really do appreciate you spending your time with me, whether you watched 30 seconds or you watched my whole entire tirade. I appreciate you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. It means a lot to me. And hopefully you will join me for the next round of 90 Day Fiancé whatever, whenever it starts, I think on February the 16th. Thank you so much. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video, if you like this content, subscribe to my channel. I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.